This is the video solution to practice problem A that accompanies sample problem 2.5 on page 53 of your text. This question asks us to name a couple of binary molecular compounds. Let's review the rules for naming molecular compounds before we try to answer the question. The first thing we must do is work with the first element that's shown in the chemical formula of the compound. If that atom has a subscript indicating more than one atom is present in a molecule, then we will include a prefix that indicates the number of atoms shown. The prefixes are given to us in table 2.2 on page 52. It looks like this, and we'll refer to this table as we look at the question itself. Once we name the first element, we will name the second element that appears in the formula. For the second element, we always use a prefix from the table that we just looked at, and we always change the ending of the name of this element to have an IDE suffix. Let's look at the first compound and keep the table close to help us out. The formula for this compound is Cl2O. Following the steps that we just outlined, we'll examine the first element and call it chlorine. We are given 2 atoms of chlorine based on the subscript 2, so we will use the prefix di from the table to indicate that there are 2 chlorine atoms. The next symbol that we see in this compound is O, which means our second element is oxygen. No subscript is given, so this means 1 oxygen atom. For the second element, we always include a prefix, mono in this case, and additionally we change the ending of the oxygen to IDE. In this case we will end up writing monoxide for the second element. This means that the full name of this compound is dichlorine monoxide with a space in between those 2 words. The second compound given to us is SiCl4. The first element we see in this one is Si, which stands for silicon. No subscript on the silicon means that only 1 atom is shown. And since this is the first element in the compound, we do not need to include a prefix. We can simply record the word silicon. For the second element, we see Cl. Cl stands for chlorine, and we see a subscript of 4 on the Cl indicating 4 chlorine atoms. We'll go back to our table and find that the prefix that indicates 4 is the word tetra, and for the second element then we will write tetrachloride. Again, we had to change the chlorine to have an IDE suffix. Our full name then for SiCl4 will be silicon tetrachloride. Remember that the rules we just used apply only to molecular compounds. Those are compounds that are made of 2 nonmetals. The rules for naming ionic compounds are different than what we've just looked at. Please take a couple of minutes to do practice problem B within this group and check your answer with the key on page 75 of your textbook.